All right, NCAA takes for casuals. Houston beats Duke. I watch a bunch of NBA games. That's really what I watch. I don't really watch NCAA basketball until the Final Four starts. So I'm just going to preface with that. I am an NCAA casual basketball watcher, maybe less than a casual, because like I said, I only watch when the Final Four starts. With that being said, Houston Cougars beat the Duke Blue Devils 70 to 67. Both games were insane. This game was very, very good as well, and was definitely surprised that Houston won. When I was watching the game, even the first 5 or 10 minutes, it was a really low scoring game. It was mucked up. I don't want to use the word ugly, but they were really mucking up the play. Houston's defense was really giving Duke a lot of problems, and after the first 10 minutes of the game, I was thinking, man, this pace really favors what Houston's trying to do because Houston's just a nasty defensive team. They want to muck it up with you and just make things as hard as they can, make it really uncomfortable for you to get in your offensive sets and not let you get anything easy. And they played really, really physical, and it definitely bothered Duke. Um, Again, even after the first half was over, I was thinking this pace definitely favors Houston before the game started, and even throughout the entire game. To be honest, I was thinking there's no world where Houston is going to actually beat Duke. The game was close. I was thinking this is a close game. It's been entertaining, but once it got down to the last 5 minutes or so, I was thinking, Duke's going to turn it up and win this game. But I have no dog in the fight. Again, like I said, I just watch NBA basketball way more than NCAA, so it didn't really matter to me who won the game, but it was definitely a surprise Houston won, but they definitely deserved it. Their defense was just so nasty out there, and they made things tough on everybody. We'll get to Cooper Flag in a second. He's definitely the number one pick in the draft. Nothing in this game changed that. Cooper Flag was great. He just didn't have enough help to win the game, I guess you could say. I don't even want to say that honestly. He had the help he needed. Duke has three first round draft picks with Knepel, Maluach, and then Cooper Flag, of course. So it's not like they were lacking talent or coaching or anything like that. They just don't want to use the word choked, but they just got beat by Houston. I mean, Houston, their defense, they were good enough on offense to win. A lot of their offense came from their defense, and they just did what they had to do to win. Start off with LJ Cryer. I think he's declared for the NBA draft for this upcoming draft. And then Uzan right here is their highest draft pick. He's projected to go in the first round. But for Uzan, again, I'm an NCAA casual. I haven't watched Houston play this season, but Uzan, he didn't flash. He's 3 for 10, 1 for 4 from 3, only 7 points, 2 turnovers. So, I expected him to flash more, but he didn't for whatever reason out there. Duke's defense is really good as well, so it's not like Duke is a slouch defensively. But LJ Cryer was the main guy that flashed, obviously. He played 40 minutes, which is insane. He didn't sit down for 1 second. He was in the game the entire time, every second, every minute. He goes 8 for 14, 6 for 9 from 3, 4 for 6 from the line, 26 points, only 1 turnover, the 5 rebounds. So Cryer was great out there. There was a time, I think it was the end of the first half and then the start of the second half. Cryer was hitting just huge threes to keep Houston alive. It looked like the game was getting out of hand. Houston was down 14 points at one point to Duke, and Cryer was hitting a bunch of big threes. All of his threes were timely. He didn't hit any threes where the game was out of hand or anything. It never really was, but every three he hit was just huge, and he really was the main guy that kept his team in the game. Um, then Sharp had the 16 points as well. Roberts had 11 points and 12 rebounds out there. So, some players made a decent impact on offense. Nobody more than LJ Cryer. Again, he was hitting huge threes. Ended the first half, going into the second half. Just making so many big shots to keep Houston in the game. Again, Duke was up 14 at one point, and I was thinking, man, this is about to be a blowout. Duke's about to get up 20 and win the game. And again, like I said, I'm a casual NCAA basketball watcher. And before the game started, I thought there was no way Duke would lose. But after the first 10 minutes, I was thinking, man, this pace really favors Houston. Their defensive intensity, keep it ugly and low scoring. And that's what they did. all game long, and it worked out for them to win in the end. Going down to the Blue Devils, just one more thing on Houston. Cryer was great, but the reason they won the game was just their overall defensive intensity. They're all locked in. Um, all their rotations are there. They're not having breakdowns on defense. Everything is just really, really precise, and they're all doing the right things defensively. And they just play great as a unit defensively. And Duke was just really uncomfortable. I mean, they haven't been in close games really all season long. This was one of the few close games they've had this entire season, and Houston just made it really, really tough on them. The defense they were playing seemed like NBA level defense, especially all the switches they were making, the schemes they were playing against Duke. I didn't see. I'm sure there was maybe a few, but there was no glaring breakdowns on defense I saw from Houston. You know, all their switches, everything is just on time. They just played so well together as a unit. And LJ Cryer had a great game, but the real reason they won was Houston's defense paired together with LJ Cryer's timely threes because he made so many giant threes throughout the game. Moving down to Duke, we'll talk about Cooper in a second, of course. Maluach was the most glaring thing for me. He played 21 minutes and he had 0 rebounds, no offensive, no defensive, none at all. He had 1 assist, only 1 block and 6 points in 21 minutes. He's projected to go. I'm not sure if he's projected to be a lottery pick. Actually, he's projected to go in the top 14. So I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve to be a lottery pick. He's 7'2". He's a beast out there. He has a lot of room to develop, but this game was definitely not his best showing. He's probably the first guy to tell you that it's just unacceptable, honestly, to be 7'2", to play 21 minutes and not get 1 rebound out there. See, Duke had 31 rebounds. Houston had 42 rebounds. They out-rebounded Duke by 11. First half, they were getting so many offensive rebounds, especially the first 5 minutes of the game. They were just killing Duke on the offensive glass. And then Duke started getting a lot of offensive rebounds. It was the beginning of the second half. Duke was getting a bunch of offensive rebounds. And then I guess Houston tightened it back up. They got going again and started boxing out and started taking those offensive rebounds away from Duke. But yeah, I mean, the Cougars out-rebounded the Blue Devils by 11 rebounds. So that's a big reason they were able to win the game, paired along with Cryer's big shots and the defense from Houston. But yeah, Maluach, really disappointing. Let me know what you think, but I thought it was really disappointing. I'm not looking at his points, just the rebounds and the shot blocking and the defense. He was almost a liability out there, honestly, defensively. And, when he's too big to really guard anybody from the other team and he's not getting rebounds, he's not blocking shots, he doesn't have a polished offensive game. So, Houston did a really good job just taking him out of the game and making sure he wasn't crashing the glass. Colin Kneppel was solid. I think he'll be a really good NBA player, a 3-and-D type of guy. Again, I've watched Duke a few times this season, but like I said, I'm a casual NCAA basketball watcher. But seeing Kneppel in this game, he's really strong. He plays really solid defense. Of course, he has a great three-point shot, but the main thing that flashed for me for Kneppel was just how strong he was. Moves his feet really well. He's not getting bullied off of his spot. Just his strength and how he moves his feet and how he plays defense was really impressive to me. And then offensively, he has 16 points, 7 rebounds. That as well. He's a really good rebounder at the guard position. 2 assists, 1 steal. 3 for 5 from 3 and 5 for 9 from the field. Again, for the 16 points. And if I have one complaint about Kneppel, it would be I'd like to see him take more shots, but what I wasn't really seeing, he doesn't seem like a very strong shot creator. He doesn't have a bad handle, but he doesn't have some crazy handle where he's going to shake some guy up and step back, get himself an open three and an open jumper. But I think he'll develop that at the NBA level, or I don't know if he'll ever be some insane shot creator, but I think he'll develop his handling and get better at creating shots, and then his three-point shot's just going to get better and better, and it's already a very good three-point shooter. Getting to Cooper Flagg, he was the best player on the court. It's not really an argument. He was glaringly the best player on the court, and I know no one's going to argue whether or not he is NBA ready. He definitely is. But watching this game, I'm not gonna say he didn't flash. He definitely had flashes. He had some crazy blocks, 3 blocks, 2 steals. He has the 27 points, but it felt like he scored 17 points watching the game. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. He just flows. He flows so well in the offense. You can put him in an NBA team and plug him in to any team. There's no situation that he wouldn't work on. There's no NBA team that he wouldn't work on. If you need some rebounds that night, he can go out and get you 12 rebounds. If you need playmaking, he can go out and get you 7 to 10 assists. If you need defense, he's never not going to give you that. The 2 steals, the 3 blocks. If you need scoring, I don't know what he's going to be as a scorer at the NBA level, but he can shoot the three, he can shoot mid range, he can post up, he can drive. He has a 40-inch vertical and like a 7-foot wingspan, and he's 6'9". So Cooper's just a beast. He's going to be, I want to say, a very good NBA player. It's too soon to kind of judge what he will or won't be in the NBA, but I would say worst case scenario for Cooper Flag, like the absolute worst case scenario is he's a B plus all around player that can do everything. And that's the worst case scenario. I anticipate him being an A minus to A plus player. Maybe not his first year, but within his first 2 or 3 years in the NBA. And his worst case defensively is being an A minus defender. Like he can guard 1 through 5, weak side shot blocking. He can play the passing lanes. He has really good IQ on defense. So absolute worst case scenario for Cooper Flag on defense is him being an A minus defender because he just moves his feet so well. He's so versatile. He can guard big men. He can guard point guards, shooting guards. There's no position he can't guard. So I have no concerns about Cooper Flag and whether he is or isn't the number one overall pick. He definitely is. That was locked in a long time ago. Everyone's been saying it all season long, and his performance didn't give me any reason to lean off of that. He's definitely going to be the number one pick. 8 for 19 from the field, so not terrible efficiency, pretty solid efficiency. The one thing you could, I guess, complain about or knock him for, he has the chance at the game winner, or at least to give Duke the lead really late in the game. He posts up, he gets to the middle, he shoots a little fadeaway jumper, and he left it a little short and he just missed the shot. And it happens. Duke hasn't been in a bunch of close games. So you can't really judge how clutch Cooper Flag is or isn't as a player, but I wouldn't be extremely worried about it. I mean, he just missed the shot. Of course, you'd love to see him make it. You'd love to see, Duke win the game and go on and win the NCAA championship, and then Cooper goes to the NBA and wins Rookie of the Year, and then, he's in the playoffs his second season. It just depends on where he goes. It's so hard to project players because when Zion came out, everyone's like, man, Zion's going to be this excellent, insane NBA player. And he basically is, but just with his injuries and things, he hasn't been able to put it together and be very consistent in the NBA. But with Cooper Flag, like I said before, worst case scenario is a B plus all around player. I think he'll be an A minus to A plus all around player. Maybe not his first year, but within his first 2 3 years or so. But yeah, he's just too all around. He can finish in the post inside. He can drive the ball mid range, 3 points. He's a good free throw shooter. He can guard all 5 positions. He can play the passing lanes. He can get weak side shot blocks. He can block jumpers. There's really nothing that he can't do on defense. So even if his offense does take a little bit of time to develop in the NBA, I don't think it's going to take too long. I see him averaging probably 18 to 20 points as a rookie, just depending on what situation he ends up in. But if he ends up on Washington or something like that and he's the number one option, I see no reason why he wouldn't average 18 plus on pretty solid efficiency as a rookie. And then that's what we have to wait and see. Wait and see how long it takes his offensive game to kind of develop and get more polished, because he's already good at everything offensively. He's just not so much an A plus at anything offensively. He's just really good in every area. The one thing I guess you could give him an A at offensively is driving and finishing inside, because he's just so athletic, and already has his NBA body. Again, 6'9", 7-foot wingspan, 40-inch vertical. That's going to work out in the NBA. So, again, Cooper, nothing I saw from him disappointed me out there. They just got beat by Houston. Houston, I think it's fair to say, I can't say they're the better team. I'd say these teams are pretty equal, but just tonight, Houston's defense was too much. They played so aggressively. Um, but that's another thing I like to see from Cooper Flag. You're playing against probably the best defense in the NCAA in Houston, and you still put up 27 on solid efficiency and impact the game in so many ways. It seems like there's not one game where Cooper doesn't have at least two steals and two blocks, or maybe he has one steal and four blocks, four steals and one block. Like he always has four or five stocks, steals and blocks combined, and yeah, I mean he's definitely the number one pick. He looks like he's going to be very good from day one in the NBA. So yeah, he missed the game winner, or rather the shot that would have put them ahead. But I'm not worried about Cooper Flag at all. So I mean, yeah, Cooper Flag, Conka Nipple, they're going to be good NBA players. I think Maluach will as well. But comment below what you think. I thought this was really disappointing for Maluach to play 21 minutes and be 7'2" and not get one rebound. That's pretty unbelievable. But yeah, I mean Duke just lost to the better team that night. Again, LJ Cryer hit so many huge shots, so many big threes to keep them in the game and not let it turn into a blowout. And then, Houston's defense just really brought them home at the end. But please comment below what you think. All the Final Four games were great, both of the games. Um, and then yeah, I mean Duke just lost to the better team tonight. Houston's defense is just suffocating, and definitely excited to see them in the championship game. But please comment below. Let me know what you think about this Houston Duke game. What you think about Cooper Flag's performance, Maluach, Knipple, what you think about LJ Cryer's performance, and just Houston's defense overall. Because what I took away from it is Cooper Flag played against an NBA level defense. I think that's pretty fair to say. Houston's the closest thing in the NCAA that you're going to get to an NBA level defense. The refs let the game be very physical, and even with all the physicality, Cooper Flag still goes out and gives you 27 points on solid efficiency. So people haven't been really doubting Cooper Flag for the most part. I think across the board, it's pretty much everyone saying, yeah, this guy's going to be, again, at least a B plus all around player in the NBA. Worst case scenario. So he showed me nothing to be disappointed in. He missed the potential game winning shot, but it happens. It just is what it is. But yeah, please comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm at a big 34 subscribers. Please like and subscribe if you finished the video, and we'll see y'all again.